The beautiful St. Jude's Classic. We are in FedEx playoffs, guys. And we got our picks out there. And even though we could stir up some controversy with some golf now, I'll tell you that right now. Welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. Bob, Mike, we got Brendan here today. We got your quick fix for sports betting. We're brought to you by OddsJam. OddsJam is the premier odds comparison company in the world. You got to go there right now, oddsjam.com. Don't forget about the OddsJam Partner Program. Link below in the description. 50% revenue share. And the picks. Meet Mike and Tony. We're having a good time with them, believe it or not. Man, I'll tell you what, baseball has been tough lately. Welcome, Brendan. Welcome, Mike. Got to start off, Mike, with you. The rumor is that Jim Harbaugh has reached out to Colin Kaepernick about a coaching position. What do you think about that, number one? Number two, is that going to stir up all this controversy all over again?
Oh, I mean, anything's going to stir up controversy nowadays. I mean, I don't dislike it. I mean, it's fine. I mean, he's the coach. He's been around. Colin Kaepernick obviously coached him. So if he feels he's a good fit for a coaching staff, then by all means, he feels he's a good fit for a coaching staff. I can tell you he'd be a better fit than any of the goofballs that probably have anything to say about it, I'm sure. Some guy, sitting at home doing nothing, I mean, if those are the type of people you're going to get crap from, and so be it, I guess. But the bottom line is, though, unfortunately, is I'm just not sold on these Chargers. They're my team. I wish they could turn it around. I just don't know. I don't trust Justin Herbert's health. I'm worried.
Your boy Justin is not a fan at all.
I don't know why not. I mean, it's not. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, you think Colin Kaepernick's going to make the Chargers any more of a choke job than they've ever been in the last how many years? That's all they've done. Well, I mean, look, I'm a Chargers fan. I'm saying this. They've choked their lives away, man, many times. Why would we act like at this point, hiring somebody to be on the coaching staff? Oh, that's going to really stop us from winning now, isn't it? Bro, we had LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Rivers at quarterback. We had Sean Merriman at linebacker. One time we had a guy like Rodney Harrison, we've had some big time players and never gotten the job done. So,
yeah,
this isn't going to stop them from winning.
Tony, let's go. Patriots football in 1 hour. Tony, I got one question for you. Who cares? It's the Patriots. Come on. They're going to be bad. You're going to go back to when they were bad again, Tony. Deal with it. You had a great run, with the Cheatriots. No two ways about it. But that's over with. Brendan, what do you think? About?
I mean, Tebow is a player, though. Colin Kaepernick's not coming in to play. He's coming in for a coach.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes a big difference. Like for Kaepernick, I feel like every year we keep hearing about him making his big comeback in the NFL. And the reality is the dude's in his late 30s now, I think 37, 38 years old. So I couldn't see him coming back as a player anymore at this point. So if he's going to try to make any comeback in the league, coaching's definitely where it's at. Hopefully, I mean, he's stayed around the game this whole time that he's been at. So hopefully instead of working on his body the whole time, he was working on his brain a little bit. And I've always been a firm believer that some of the best players don't make the best coaches, but some of the most average players make great coaches.
Well, and the thing is, he's not coming in to be the head coach.
True. That's also,
what I mean? So he's not going to come in and just ruin the team. What I mean?
What position is he going to? I mean, what's he? Obviously, he's got to have something to do with quarterbacks.
I would imagine that's where he's going to be or I don't know. How was his career injury-wise? He didn't seem to get injured too much, did he? I think he had one big injury, if I'm mistaken.
Right. He just, I mean, they
So,
didn't bring him back in the league.
Yeah,
I mean,
Herbert's not durable, so.
He had, he had legs, man. That's one thing that kid had. Tony says over 4.5 wins, baby. See ya at the window. Well, that's a hell of a season, Tony. That'll be 5-12. Way to go!
Yeah, it's funny because even in my head when we said the Patriots, I was like, what, 3 wins? And I don't know, 5 might do it. Well, we can maybe push to 5. I might go check that over 4.5 just for Tony, just to get a little love in there for him.
Just to make him feel good. What do we think about the Nats tonight? Heavy underdogs. You know what? I just got to say, it's baseball right now, and I have no idea because every time I'm turning around here lately, the Mets had a 5-0 lead today. They lose 7-6 to Oakland. I mean, are you kidding me? And this is going to be a playoff team. You look at the National League right now, and the Braves are not that good. That is not betting advice. Your 3 is more realistic. All right.
I mean, look, it could happen. The Nationals. I mean, they had played a little 2-game series against Baltimore. They won one of those games. They did win a couple against Milwaukee recently. Obviously, they played the Angels before that. Won a couple there, but yeah, I mean, definitely Wheeler being on the mound worries you, but. I mean, in all honesty, the Nationals, a young team. They've got some players, man. They're not a terrible team. I mean, they're not good, but they're not, Chicago White Sox bad. So, yeah, I mean, anything could happen. Why not, And who's on the mound for Washington? It's actually that
Mitchell Parker tonight.
Parker, which I know his record went in – He's not been awful, though. I mean, you consider he's a rookie on a bad team, I don't know. I said bad team, and I just said before that I didn't think they were that bad, but I guess they are. They're okay.
Good average team.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Back to the Chargers and Kaepernick. Kaepernick played for Harbaugh when he was at San Francisco. Okay?
I think they went to the Super Bowl together.
They went to the Super Bowl, yes. And you know what? I think that Harbaugh has a soft spot in his heart with the guy. He also knows that the guy is going to give him everything he wants. He wouldn't have wanted to add him to that coaching position, whatever it may be, and offered it to him. He's not accepted yet. Okay. Let's get that right now.
Right. It's not even a done deal. And again, the bigger distraction is not Colin Kaepernick coming in. It's Justin Herbert has to stay healthy. You know what I mean? If Herbert is not healthy, it doesn't matter who you have at coach or what. I mean, if you're the Chargers, you're done for. And even then, if he stays healthy, we got to see what he's made of. He's not been a big game quarterback yet, man. He had a 27 point lead against Jacksonville in the playoff game, and they couldn't close them out there. He's not shown that he can get the big win yet,
Yeah, I mean, I want to like Herbert so bad, and yet there's just this little thing in the back of my head that keeps whispering. He just doesn't have it. And, like I said, I want to be a fan of him. Every time I watch him, I like watching him play. I root for the guy every time I see him. But, just when you're talking numbers on paper, I mean, like I said, he hasn't produced. He hasn't put the numbers down. I mean, Baker Mayfield's got better playoff statistics than Herbert does.
I know. That's crazy.
So that's saying quite a bit, in my opinion. But I don't know. I think Kaepernick, he's got a football mind. He's always been around the game. Maybe he can help Herbert out. Like I said, come in there for good durability. He obviously takes care of his body if he thinks he could still play football at the age he is today. So maybe he can come be a little QB guru whisperer in Herbert's ear.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, so yeah, I mean, at this point, Herbert has a lot to prove. and looking at a guy in his draft class, a Joe Burrow type look. Joe Burrow has proven he can win big games, obviously hurt last year, but he's proven he can win some big games. And until Herbert proves that, and let's face it, man, in crunch time, he buckles, man. He chokes.
All right. FedEx update. Tony just told you it's Scotty and Xander are 2 shots back. Chris Kirk leads at -6. Here's the -5s. Pendrith, Pavan, Matsuyama. Matsuyama, his coach and his caddy got their passports and what have you stolen. And so they couldn't join Matsuyama for this first round. So Matsuyama had to get another caddy. I took him off our list. What a dumb move that was by me. He's tied for second right now. Justin Rose, Ben Griffin, Fleetwood, Brendan Todd, McCarthy, Scotty, Xander, JT. Oh, no, JT's -3. Those are -4. JT Malnati, Seamus Power, Dunlap, Burns, McIntyre at -3. And then Cam Young, Billy Horschel, Wyndham Clark, Rory, Colin Morikawa, Van Ruin, Harris English, Taylor, Henley, Spieth, Perez, all at -2. That is your top 20 golfers right now for this tournament, the FedEx. And it's FedEx Cup time, the playoffs. You start with 70 players. They dwindle down week by week. And you know what? In eventuality, you wind up with a champion. Scotty is the leader with the points. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Although it was kind of funny. I wish I would have hit a sand shot like that. He hit a shot out of the sand that probably went 12 feet past the hole, maybe 15, and just beat his sand wedge into the sand, and he was pissed off. I would have loved to have hit a shot like that, but the perfection, that's what he's looking for. So the gold medal winner, the silver and the bronze medal winners from the Olympics are all within 2 shots of the lead right now. That's pretty cool. All right. We don't have much baseball tonight.
No, 3 games, but we got preseason football, and I just want to throw this by you guys. I got the number at 36 yesterday. I kind of like this under in this Philadelphia-New England game. I mean, you look at both of their games, would have been well under this number. The number seems kind of high at 36. I think it's down to about 35.5. I would still ride it at that, but I think I like the under in this game, honestly. And another play that I took the Eagles first half, +1.5. It was on the EV page. I'm going to go with it, man.
Yeah, I like that. I like the under as well, too, myself. I picked it up at under 35.5, -115.
Like it. Yeah.
Overs and Valley. I've seen a couple of lines actually dropping down at this point to 34.5.
Ooh.
I'm really starting to favor that under myself. I think in the first preseason game, the Eagles scored 16, the Patriots scored 17.
Yep.
So they're sticking right on that under. Give us a little wiggle room even as well, too. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, if you got 35.5 or 36, that's a hell of a line, because right now that number has gone down to 33.5.
Yeah, on a lot of books. It does look like right now you could get under 35, so you're losing, again, that half point, as we know, can be very, very important. Right now you can get under 35. It looks like Bet Rivers is the only book offering that.
Yeah.
At -113 for under 35. You will not find under 35.5 or under 36 now. So, wow. Yeah, we're looking pretty solid there.
Absolutely. Good. Absolutely. So I don't think that we have anytime touchdown score markets yet.
No.
That will happen during the regular season. When it comes along, folks, be checking us out, because we will be putting them out there on a regular basis. Tune into this show. All right, so you know what I'm excited about? The my goodness.
WNBA.
WNBA, baby. And the New York Liberty play the Sparks tonight in LA. Here's the question I got for you guys. Do these ladies come back after, this long break? And are the teams that are the favorites, are they going to cover or not? And let me tell you who the favorites are. Phoenix against Chicago tonight. Phoenix the favorite, but minus 4.5. I put this play in our Discord. I took the Lynx -8 against Washington, and the Liberty -11 against Los Angeles. Do the favorites come back and cover all three of these games, or are the dogs going to cover tonight?
I mean, you'd like to think the Liberty will cover. I mean, good team. I mean, LA's bad, and I kind of like your Lynx play. I'll tell you the one that I would maybe worry about, Chicago,
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's literally, I was going to say the exact same thing as you, Mike, with those two games. I know for the Chicago game, I got 2 EV plays on that, one of them being under 165.5 in total points. Got that at -105, but I do have Phoenix to cover the first half spread -1.5.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes towards the end of the game. I don't know. Sometimes that rest does players good. You get a little bit of time to regroup and recover if you've been injured. But if you were in the flow of things, you were vibing out as a team, and you get that long gap in between, sometimes it's hard to get back together and be meshing the way you were before that break.
Right. So you got
it definitely does, and the Mercury Phoenix, they lost 2 out of their last 3 and going into the All-Star break, which before that they were playing decent. I mean, you got a Chicago team, same story, losing 2 out of their last 3 heading into that All-Star break. And both teams, you got Phoenix a game above 500, Chicago obviously 4 games under 500, but still playoff hopes, obviously, for both of those teams. That's a pretty big game.
Yep.
What did you get Phoenix for, Brandon?
I got them in the first half point spread -1.5.
See that you can only find that on Rebet right now.
I picked it up at +100.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It's -139 now.
Yeah.
That line is actually to 3. So you're looking pretty good. You're looking pretty good. And that just shows you, folks, you got to shop these lines early. The earlier you shop these lines, the better opportunities you're going to come across. That is a great. You actually guys have gotten a couple of great lines, Mike. And
we have. I mean,
yeah.
And we've done again, is that a guarantee they're going to hit? No, that does not mean they're guaranteed to hit, but you certainly are confident now when you look at the number you got and what it is now, hey, I did a hell of a job, now we just got to cash it and wait it out. And, at least we set ourselves up a lot better than some people who are going to be trying to hit it last minute,
-140.
Yeah, and they will. They'll still all throw it in for a parlay.
That's what gets scary.
Yeah, that's scary when you get into those.
So we were talking last night with Jabari. We did a lot of NFL talk. We went through divisions. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun. Okay. But I'd like to focus on one division in particular right now, and that's the NFC East, because I feel like out of all of the divisions, this one has the most controversy as far as who's going to win this division. Because you know what? Who's quarterbacking for Washington, Mike? Daniels, right? Is Daniels
for who?
For Washington. Didn't they get the kid from LSU?
I was going to say that rookie
yes.
from LSU.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels. Is he gonna start this year, guys?
I think so. I think there's a high possibility of it.
Is Jacoby Brissett still the backup out there, or did he go back to New England potentially?
I don't know. I think we need to find out what the Commanders' quarterback depth chart is.
Yeah, I mean, I was really
Brissett's gone.
Right.
Brissett gone. Yeah.
He's with He's with New England.
Yeah, I thought he went back to New England potentially. That's what I was saying. That I know he was there last year to finish out the season with them. But, I mean, I know when Heineke, not last year, but the season before played with them, I was really impressed with how well he carried himself, how well he carried his team. So I know they've added a few pieces on, like, the line, the defense in particular. So if they get a good quarterback in there, I'll be excited to see what happens to them. But I don't know. In the East, I feel like it's down to the normal two between Philly and
– I got Mariota's there.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is quarterback one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mariota is backing him up. That, you know what? That is, man, I'm telling you guys, he's a wild card because that kid, he can definitely move. Okay,
yeah,
he could do a lot of things. He could be the guy that maybe puts them in contention in that division. That's what Randall. I think that was what Randall was trying to say in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, we were talking about a team that went to go worst to first. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility, and we also talked about. I think it was who was it? There was Mr. Heat yesterday that said 2003 haven't had a repeat champion in that division since 2003. So history says Dallas is not winning the division this year, which would set up potentially for, Washington has a chance. I still like Philly, as I said, but
sure. But let's just.
But Washington's a sleeper for sure.
Okay, so they got Zach Ertz at tight end. Maybe he'll be coming back. Obviously, McLaurin as a wide receiver, along with Dotson and Zacchaeus.
Yep.
But at running back, they've got Brian Robinson Jr., who really had a nice year last year. And also one of my favorite players from the past, Austin Eckler, who at one time was a touchdown machine. And if they use him right, he could be really big. And then at linebacker, Bobby Wagner being there. I don't know, man. I think
don't forget a defensive coordinator. They took Dallas's guy, Dan Quinn,
Well, sure, yeah.
I mean, and what, pretty, and a lot of people, I like that. I like that move. I like that move a lot, and I don't think you can blame Dan Quinn for Dallas. Their defense was good. They got lit up by Green Bay, obviously in the playoffs, but it doesn't help whenever your offense does absolutely nothing and gives the ball away and puts you in stressful situations, which is what happened in that game. You can't blame Dan Quinn and the defense there.
No, I think, like I said, they're adding good pieces this year. I know even looking at the depth chart, you got guys out there now like Deontay Fowler, and they picked up that Farrell in the draft this year at the line position. So I think they're adding good pieces on defense. And the thing I like with offense is the guys that we just named, you're talking about Zach Ertz, Scary Terry, a dual threat running back situation. Austin Eckler was one of the best receiving running backs out of the backfield 2 seasons in a row, not last year, but the 2 seasons before that. So I think it sets up the Jaden Daniels very well with the spread offense, keeping them moving in the pocket a lot, short dump-off passes, hoping to break some long ones out of there. The more we're looking at this, I really do think Washington could be a sleeper. I've never been up on Dallas in particular, but they just year after year seem to always be in the fight. I'm a firm believer right now with the Eagles. I would really lean Washington over Dallas the more we're talking about this live.
Well, I just pulled up the Cowboys depth chart, guys, and you know who they penciled in as their starting running back is Zeke.
Yes, yeah, I said that yesterday. That was my argument against the Cowboys. Is
right.
They've gotten weaker at running back, and the Eagles, in my opinion, did get better adding Barkley. I know some people say, well, no, DeAndre. No, look, Barkley's a better running back than DeAndre Swift. So, yes, he's got to be healthy. Right. But you put DeAndre Swift at his best, Barkley when he's at his best, there's no question Barkley's a better running back, Yeah,
I would 100% agree with that. That's why, to me, I feel like the Eagles still lean as that favorite in the
division. Of course, yeah.
And their wide receiver core with CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Jalen Tolbert, they really nothing really stands out there. The Cowboys, I think you're right, Mike. I think they're in trouble this year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think they're winning. I definitely don't think they're winning the division. Could they miss the playoffs? I may not go that far yet, but I'll tell you what, if the Commanders do what we think they can do, and if Daniels can get going and him and McLaurin can get something going with that combination, you know how it is when a quarterback and a receiver get hot and they start hooking up like crazy. It's it could get pretty interesting.
Absolutely agree with you 100%. Let's see. I was just looking at Philadelphia. So Philadelphia with Brown and Smith right there and Goddard have such an advantage.
Of course.
Barkley with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. It's going to take a lot to upset them and knock them out of the top spot. I really believe that, don't you?
Yeah, I personally feel that way. I mean, I know Jason Kelsey's an irreplaceable guy, but keeping Lane Johnson for another year down to help bring in some of those young offensive linemen, teach them the ways that they're supposed to move in the building and protect their quarterback the right way. I do think the Eagles are set up the best for success this year, personally, in the East.
Now, Brendan, who's your football team?
Cleveland Browns, baby.
Wow! Holy cow! You didn't go to the game wearing one of them masks, did you?
No, and I haven't been to any of the preseason games yet. I'm waiting for the real action. I go out and trust me, Monday and Tuesdays, I'm usually not talking.
All right. What are you getting your game face on?
Oh yeah, get the game face on. We some dogs out here in Northeast Ohio, so you come into Cleveland in that dog pound, you better be ready. Biting bones coming at you.
So I'm looking at the Giants depth chart here real quick. Daniel Jones, the starter. Devin Singletary is their number one back, even though I like him. He's not an every down back. Of course, you don't really need that. Tyrone Tracy Jr., Eric Gray, Dante Miller.
Pencil them in at last.
Yeah, and then their wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darius Slayton. Slayton I know some about, but Allen Robinson's actually second team.
Allen Robinson hasn't been relevant in a while.
I know. Isn't it amazing how his career went downhill?
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah, I mean, pencil them in last place, not getting a sniff of anything other than the bottom of the league, to be honest with you.
Right.
Are they the worst team in the NFL? I don't. Maybe they're not, but they're definitely bottom three. 4 if you want to extend it a little bit. They're one of the worst, that's for sure. So I don't see anything changing there. And every team in that division is going to beat up on them. I'd be surprised if they got a division win, to be honest with you. I mean, just so long as you don't completely sleep on them when you show up to play them, they're still a division opponent. Take them a little seriously. Get your free wins.
Yeah, I think New York's biggest problem is going to be in another season or two, seeing if Daniel Jones is a guy, obviously paying him. I think they extended for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No idea what they were thinking with that, what they saw out of him with that. So I think that's going to be their biggest headache, especially after this.
That's a bad move.
Because, they got nobody around the guy. When you're saying names like Wan'Dale Robinson, that's the biggest receiver that sticks out to me on that team.
Right.
He's going to be a waste of talent this year for him, for sure. So.
Yeah, another year down the drain for the Giants. But since you're a Browns fan and a dog pound fan, I'm guessing you're thinking the Browns are making the playoffs this year?
I'd love to think it. We extended our head coach, Kevin Stefanski, and our GM, Andrew Berry, this year, which I think was a huge win for Cleveland. One of their biggest problems growing up a Browns fan is we've never kept a coach longer than 3-4 years at a time. We're always moving through them. In my lifetime, I've only seen 3 coaches with the Steelers. So, looking at the franchise right next door that's a rival to us, seeing them do the exact opposite, being a winning franchise, I think it's huge keeping the coach and the GM together long term. They're finally getting some good pieces to move in. Offensively, defensively, they're they got some stellar names, stellar talent out there.
In your lifetime, you've seen 3 Steeler coaches. What year were you born?
1995.
Okay. You've seen 2.
2.
Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. You weren't around for Chuck Noll.
I thought Cowher came in maybe in 96, no? So I haven't seen 3, but in all fairness,
he was coaching them.
It's not been many, right?
He was coaching them. Was it 95 when Neil O'Donnell was the quarterback and threw that interception?
They lost to Dallas in the Super Bowl, and then
lost to Dallas.
Bill. Cowher was there. I mean, he would have seen Cowher coach. He was.
He didn't see Chuck Noll. He said he saw 3 coaches.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They've only had 3 coaches in my lifetime that I remember. Okay.
Yeah, great example then.
Yeah, the greatest organization.
Well, when you're a Cleveland fan and you're going through 50 coaches, I mean, you lose track of
a year before.
Yeah, everybody else, you're like, I don't know, what's 2 coach, 3 coach. I don't know.
I still remember the John Elway drive.
Well,
that'll haunt Cleveland.
And the Ernest Biner fumble. That was in back-to-back years, guys. The Browns, oh my God, I couldn't believe, and I was rooting for him. I couldn't believe that drive by Elway. It was just insane.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard not to root for the Browns. I mean, to watch a franchise be so bad year after year after year, like last year was a great example. I was all in on the Detroit Lions, watching them my whole lifetime, being a terrible team, getting to see them rise up, fight through adversity. So, yeah, I'm a proud Browns fan. I love it. We'll see what happens this year. Obviously, the same thing we've been talking about all show. It's our quarterback. I mean, we paid the guy a lot of money. We're expecting him to play well. Hopefully, this is the year he breaks back out into the Deshaun Watson we saw when he was in Houston.
Yeah, and as Browns fans, there's nothing worse than losing those games to Denver only to watch Denver get blistered in the Super Bowls that they went to. I mean, blistered. I mean, how if you're a Broncos fan, as heartbreaking as that game was for Browns fans, it's like you're a Denver fan and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We won this game. We're going to this. And then you get your ass just blistered. I mean, did they even – who did they play? They played San Fran one time, right? They played the Niners?
And Washington.
And Washington blew them out, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the Mark Rippon Super Bowl. I mean, he was just they were on fire. Yeah, it was insane.
So which franchise do you think handled it, like hated the 90s worse with that part? Would be the Denver Broncos or the Bills when they went 0-3 those 3 years in a row?
No, not 3. 4 years, bro.
4 years.
4 years in a row. Made the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost all 4. The drubbing that the Cowboys gave them, I think it was like 52-17. They didn't like that.
It wasn't Mark Rippon it was Williams, wasn't it?
No, I think in that one year it was Rippon. I could be wrong.
Well, Washington won 42-10 in the Super Bowl they played Denver in. And then I think San Fran, didn't they throw 50 up on them or something?
No, that was against the Chargers.
Well, yeah, yes.
You remember that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no. The Niners beat the Broncos 55-10.
Oh, okay. All right.
Joe Montana.
10 points back-to-back years.
Yes. So Denver wins the most amazing football game.
You're right, Mike.
Doug Williams, right?
Yeah, but that was in 1987.
Which would have been when they played.
Yeah. It was Doug Williams, the first African American quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Speaking of African American quarterbacks, the greatest of all time was Warren Moon. If you never saw Warren Moon,
Warren Moon was big time.
Yeah, I saw him play a lot of cards from collecting back in the day growing up.
Right. Well, he came from the CFL, man. But when he got into the NFL with the Houston Oilers, he was something else. He could fire that ball. And you know what? I think that he was the beginning of all these seams because he put it in places that other people couldn't put it in,
Yeah. I mean, Randall Cunningham was good. He was a good quarterback. But yeah, Warren Moon was, man.
And by the way, Doug Williams, another historical note here for you guys. Doug Williams actually made it to an NFC championship game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They played the Los Angeles Rams, and they lost 9-0 in the NFC championship.
That would have been when the Rams went on to play Pittsburgh, right?
That's right, and lost.
Yeah,
exactly. So a lot of NFL history there. We've talked a little sports betting. We're all on the Eagles tonight, I think. Yeah,
and probably. I mean, Nationals +1.5 seems good.
What's the line on that?
You get plus odds on it somewhere.
Okay. All right. We'll take it. All right. Brendan, thanks for joining us.
Always.
You know what? We're going to try to get a group in here tomorrow night. I'll send you an invite if you want to jump in. We're going to try to get Justin, Kia, Jabari. We're going to try to have a good old time tomorrow night. I think it'll be fun. And it was a good time tonight. Great show, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
See you later. Hey, you know what? Watch the replay. Go to YouTube. OddsJam Bob and Mike, all right? See y'all later.